I walk in there. I don't know any of these people from outside the White House, right? So who there?
Else was in that room?
Redfield from CDC and Fauci from NIH, right? Those were the two big players. I go in there, and within 6 minutes, I'm in a shouting match with that son of a bitch. And all he keeps saying is
Fauci.
With Fauci. I don't know who he is. Okay?
Literally don't even know who Fauci is.
Didn't know who he was. Didn't know he walked on water.
Wow.
Didn't know he killed tens of thousands of people during the AIDS epidemic and got away with it. That's another story. Don't know who he is. But, it's like somebody walks in here and sits down here. You don't know who he is, and you start interviewing him. What do? You take their measure, right? Mm-hmm. And my measure of Fauci was, this dude thinks he's a whole lot smarter than he is, and he's an arrogant son of a bitch.
This is within the first 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Sounds like an Antonio Brown interview.
And I'm, the one of the things I'm good at is taking the measure of people pretty quick. The boss is good at that too, Trump. And I'm thinking, what? And so I fight with this guy.
Wow.
Mulvaney, I'm fighting with him. Redfield comes in and supports Fauci, and we leave that meeting with Mulvaney tries to say, all right, we have a consensus, we're against the travel ban. I said, no, Mick. There's no friggin' consent. I just like it. No, Mick. There's no consensus in this room. And Pottinger finally says something. He's a National Security Council. And what I do that night is I go home and I write a memo that I'm going to plaster to the entire task force and broad chain that says that if we don't do this, this virus is capable of killing 500,000 Americans and costing us trillions of dollars. January 28, 2020. And that's about the best memo I've probably ever written because it was spot on. And here's the punchline. Fauci, when he was sitting there, that SOB knew for a fact that virus came from the Wuhan lab. He knew that because he had funded the gain-of-function research in that lab, and he had already begun to design a cover-up. And we know that from the emails he sent to a group of researchers, academics, trying to get their support to push that come-from-nature theory. And that's the biggest lie of omission in American history. Because if he had simply owned up to the fact that thing came from the lab, we could have pressured the Chinese to give us the genome sequence, which would have allowed us to design an effective vaccine rather than the crap we wound up getting. And again, Trump got lied to about that, not just by Fauci, but by Pfizer, the drug company.
In what way?
They didn't disclose the side effects of that. And they weren't clear with him. They made him think that it was a true vaccine when it's not.